Hey folks, we're back at it again today with a very important video. And today we're discussing the 50-year mortgage idea that was floated by President Trump. We're going to talk about what this means, what this is, the pros and cons, what people are saying, and how this is likely to play out. But first, all I ask is that you hit that very beautiful like button and follow for more content. Here on the channel, we cover stock news and economic content, so let's dive in. Folks, the first thing that we got to talk about is what is a mortgage. So a mortgage is basically a loan on a house. Basically, you buy a house with a down payment and a loan. Let's say that down payment is 20%, so that loan you're going to be taking out is 80% of the value of the house. So every month of that loan, you pay 1 month worth of the loan plus interest. And interest in this case is basically a payment to the bank for letting you take out a loan from them. So a 30-year loan, you're paying interest every single month. And a lot of people are saying how Trump is the new FDR with this, but President FDR was the one who came up with the 30-year mortgage. This resulted in a lot more people getting homes. This was like in the 1940s. This is a really big structural change, though, and people are saying like Trump's 50-year mortgage could be the new FDR's mortgage. It's really not the case. The 50-year mortgage is literally just stretching it out. It isn't adding anything new, but it is lowering monthly payments. And a lot of things like this sound too good to be true because they are, and there's usually a catch, and so we're going to get to that in a little bit. But let's talk numbers because you know that the truth always hides in the numbers. So on a median priced home, which is around 415,000, analysts estimate that a 30-year mortgage might give you a payment of like 2,300 a month, and a 50-year version could bring that down to about 2,000 a month. So you save a couple $100 a month, but over the life of the loan, you could pay roughly $389,000 more in total interest. So basically, the math is the short-term win is lower monthly payment, but the long-term pain is you feed the bank a lot more over your lifetime. So we're going to go over the pros and cons of the 50-year mortgage. The pros, we're going to be fair and go through the pros first because there are some. The number one is a lower monthly payment, obviously. Stretching the loan out to 50 years means that there's a smaller payment each month. It's easier to qualify, and more buyers can get out of renting and into owning something. And in a world where a lot of younger people feel locked out of home ownership, polls show that a lot of millennials and Gen Z would at least consider a 50-year loan if it got them into a home. So number two is flexibility in a high rate world. If mortgage rates stay higher than the crazy 2 to 3% era we had in 2020, 2021, a 50-year option gives buyers another option. And number three is political optics and psychological boost. So a lot of Gen Zers are really not optimistic at all about their finances. So like this could be a big boost for them to get into home ownership. And pretty much every economist from mainstream outlets to even some conservative commentators point the same thing out though. You are trading a small monthly discount for a massive lifetime cost with a 50-year. So that's money that could have gone into retirement accounts, investments, paying off the house sooner, and literally anything else but interest. And for people who know, it's like when you have a loan on something or debt, the biggest killer is that interest that you're going to keep paying. So the other thing too is that you build equity at a really slow speed. So obviously that is one of the main reasons people want to buy homes is for that appreciation and equity building. And that comes with owning a house that's appreciating in value. But with a 50-year mortgage, you're going to be looking at a really, really slow process on that. The first decade or two, you're looking at mostly interest and very little principal reduction. So analysts warned that this makes you vulnerable because if home prices flatten or drop, you could be stuck with minimal equity or even underwater for a longer period of time. And number three, it doesn't fix the real problem, which is supply. And this is the big one. So housing experts and even industry groups like the National Association of Realtors are saying that, look, the issue isn't just the structure of the mortgage, it's that we don't have enough homes and construction costs, zoning, and rates are just high. So if you throw a 50-year mortgage into a low supply market, what happens is that more people can bid on the same limited number of homes. And that actually pushes prices up, which cancels out some of the benefit and potentially fuels another leg of the affordability crisis, which is obviously totally against the purpose of this. Another con, folks, is that the debt could outlive you. So the average first-time home buyer is around 35 to 40 years old, and a 50-year mortgage means that they literally could have a mortgage till they're 80 or 90 years old. So you could have that, but you'd be planning on either paying it off while you're 80 or 90, or having your like grandkids pay it off, or selling the property with a big loan still attached to it. And economists warn that this pushes people to carry the mortgage debt deep into retirement, which is literally the opposite of what past generations were doing. Yeah, so many economists are saying it's great for lenders and developers, not so great for long term household wealth. And even some conservative voices on Fox Business have slammed it as just not the way to do this, arguing that serious housing reform should be more building, better zoning, obviously more development, and other means and other ways to go about the housing crisis, not just extending the 30-year mortgage. So, is Trump's 50-year mortgage a good idea or a bad idea? Is it a disaster waiting to happen or a gold mine? I'll let you decide in the comments. So comment below if you would ever take a 50-year mortgage. And as always, folks, if you like this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and hit that ravishing like button, and we will see you in the next video.